things aren't looking too good. We did what we could. You can make your choice between the two, but you're the one who's getting screwed.
Cheers.
Here's to podcast number 2.
Yeah. Coca-Cola Classic.
Calling all cars. So, Fido's Revenge podcast number 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching the first one and all that.
Yeah, it was cool to get you guys feedback. And
yeah, I got really good feedback, actually, from everybody I heard from. Really enjoyed it, I think.
I kind of just thought, yeah, who's gonna watch this?
Yeah, I did okay.
I didn't use that voice when I was thinking that.
That's what your internal voice
My
sounds
internal
like?
voice talks like this.
Mine has always been Andy Griffith. Since I realized that you could change your internal voice,
That's genius, dude.
it's Andy Griffith.
I just changed mine to my own, but saying the shit I wanted to say.
I wish mine was Samuel L. Jackson.
I mean, if you can do Andy Griffith, you can do SLJ.
I did that so long, I don't know how to change it now.
Is this Samuel L. Jackson?
It's a Samuel L. Jackson.
It's a little odd to say Samuel L. Jackson.
Samuel L. It is hard to say.
Anyway, today we're going to talk about a few things, but I think one thing we know we want to talk to you guys about, and we want to know how you feel, is eating a stranger's leftovers.
So, let me tell the story, because I
the story.
don't think there were leftovers, first off. I talked about this with Melissa earlier tonight because I mentioned we were going to talk about it on the podcast. Here's what happened. A couple of months ago, my girlfriend and I went to a wedding, and then afterwards we went to this bar lounge thing by our house we've been wanting to go to for a while. Got pretty inebriated, and they have a kitchen there. They serve food, but the kitchen was closed. But we kind of became buddy-buddy with the bartenders or whatever. And at the end of the night, I asked him if their kitchen was open. We were hungry, and he said, no, it's not. But then he goes, but let me see what I can do for you. And so he opens the little door and pops back into the kitchen. I was like, this motherfucker's going to rustle something up for us. Like, I thought he was going to put together a burger or something for us.
Yeah, like there's still somebody back there that
left,
can fry something. Yeah.
And he comes out with a box. Okay.
Your standard square to-go box?
Pretty much, okay? And it was full of barbecue. Meats only, no sides, but this place does not serve barbecue. And I go, where's this from? And he goes, Smoky Rose, which is right down the street from this establishment. And so we left, and I put it in the car, and Melissa goes, you're not going to eat that, are you? And I was like, fuck yeah, of course I'm going to eat this. It's good barbecue, not going to go to waste on me.
Yeah.
And so, until tonight, she thought that was gross until I explained to her. Nothing had a bite taken out of it.
Yeah.
Okay? I think that what happened was that they had barbecue either catered to that place or something earlier for the employees or something, and he packed that up for him to go.
Somebody brought back some pounds and pounds.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know that.
Right.
But I also thought, even that night, I thought, well, they're service industry. They're not messing with food. These guys were like, oh, you're hungry? Here's some food to eat.
Yeah.
So, point is, though, the reason we're bringing this up is because I've mentioned this to several people because my girlfriend thought it was so gross. And I asked Chris Brown, and what did you say?
I would have eaten it as long as there's no bites taken out of it. It's kind of weird.
Okay.
But I would eat it, for sure.
I think I've probably asked 8 people, and it's half and half. Some people think it's disgusting that I did that. Some people, Justin Wood, who is one of my best friends, who seems like the kind of guy you would assume would eat it.
Yeah.
His response was, would you eat after street people?
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't either.
No
but
offense,
he compared the two. So, like, I guess what we want to know is in the comments, would you eat the barbecue? Would you eat the food that you didn't really know where it came from? Like, it wasn't gross. It was, and by the way, it was excellent. The next day I was hungover, and it was great to have cold ribs, dude.
Cold ribs.
It was really good.
My dad brought me leftover Zavalas a couple of times with like bites taken out of it and just like whatever scraps. Like he'll get a barbecue and not finish it. I will never not finish the barbecue.
Me too.
But he will get barbecue and be like, oh, it was too much. And so he brought it to me a couple times. And I mean, it's my dad, and I totally ate that. And it was great. There's a moment where I'm like, I think I'm biting where someone else bit, but.
So your dad, family's different.
Is that different?
Yeah, I think so. Even you, like, if you were like, hey, I took a bite of this burger, but I can't eat the rest of it. Do you want it?
I'm like, And I'm like, take a bite out of this burger right where I bit.
If it was like, there's a difference too, maybe. Like if you were like, here, do this, and you
Also,
did that, I might not eat it.
Let's be real. The part I'm touching is way more tainted than the part I bit.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? My hand, I mean, I wash my hands a lot. And they're still probably dirtier than my mouth.
That's true.
I don't know. I don't know if that's true.
The other day I was, I went to the bathroom and then washed my hands. Always do.
Yeah.
I'm a guy that washes my hands every time I leave the bathroom. And I went into the kitchen and went into the pantry and opened a bag of chips. And as I was sticking my hand in, I thought, I'm going to wash my hands again because this is really gross that I just wiped my butt.
Yeah, but you washed your hands.
I did wash my hands, but still, it's so weird to think about.
Did you not wash your hands good enough the first time?
I mean, I'm sure I did, but it's just the thought went through my head that like I'm about to stick my hand in a bag of chips, and this same hand was on my butthole 40 seconds
But through
ago.
toilet paper.
Through toilet paper. Still though.
I've never broken a wine glass doing anything that I thought like might break the wine glass. It's always washing it.
Give me one little pump of that.
You can have as much of this as you want.
That's good.
If we run out of this, I got some Tito's in the
At Whole
freezer.
Foods, we have these same kind of wine glasses, and part of my job was to take them back to the. That's exactly what I was about to say I did at Whole Foods.
What? Are you cut?
No, but I barely did that, dude.
What did you do?
These are my favorite salvage jeans. They're ruined.
Oh my god, we got it all on video.
They're ruined.
You want to wear some of my jeans and soak those?
Yeah.
We can do that. Collect the glass from your lap.
Dude, I barely did
How
that.
did you do that? You're never supposed to squeeze the bowl, dude.
Barely did it.
Never. This, friends, is why you never squeeze the bowl. Well, there's proof. Never hold it by the bowl, guys. Always support the bowl. Well, we broke a wine glass.
I broke a wine glass.
Chris broke a wine glass and changed clothes.
Possibly ruined my favorite pair of jeans.
Probably not.
Hope not.
How many times have you spilled wine on your jeans?
Never.
Oh, okay. I have a few times. And I've never ruined a pair of jeans.
Okay.
So,
Praise Jesus.
Jeeves.
Praise Jeeves. So we were
Remember
talking.
Ask Jeeves?
Yeah, dude. When I went to London.
No, they don't
Dude,
still
I
have
swear to
Ask
God.
Jeeves.
Now this was 4 years ago or so. But when I went to London and got on the Wi-Fi at the airport, the search engine that popped up was Ask Jeeves.
This is almost racist.
Kinda, yeah. It seems like it.
I always thought Jeeves was a British guy.
Obviously.
So a donut eating contest.
Donut eating contest.
I
know that's hard for you.
Well, sounds fun.
I mean, here's the thing is that
How many yourself?
No, I don't. No. How many donuts do you think you can eat? Truly,
I need a dozen for sure.
I think I can eat 20 donuts.
Yeah, me too. Me too. Can we have a mix of glazed and chocolate glazed? Just regular
Yeah,
brown and clear.
Sure, yeah.
Then I can eat 2 dozen probably.
I think I can too.
If I can alternate, because the chocolate ones have a little more salt.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And like you can have water, but that's it. I think. Like, you know what I mean? Just like any eating contest.
You don't want to have bubbles anyway.
How sick do you think we'll be after that?
Well,
You'll probably feel sicker than I will.
no longer am I an age where I'm worried about getting a stomach ache from that. I'm more worried about feeling like I'm dying. like,
Yeah. No, I'll feel
like
like shit for a couple days for sure.
Yeah, I think after that, like about 30 minutes later, I would just have a huge drop in fatigue.
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 Man, I'm still a little shaken up about.
Got a
whole
little
deal.
adrenaline from the situation.
Whew, sorry if that was a little heavy. That was heavy, dude.
So at Whole Foods,
No, the point was
they would
that,
tell you not to squeeze the glasses.
Yeah, I used to take the glasses back to the bar there, and I made the comment one time that I was like, "Oh, I think I can. If I squeeze this, I can break it." I just barely. Have to, they were like, "Yeah, it happens all the time. Don't do it." But I never broke one. And then tonight, as witnessed, barely touched that motherfucker.
Damn.
And it blasted.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you can't see my crotch, but I was covered
A whole glass
in
of wine
glass
in your
and
lap.
wine.
Yeah.
Glass and wine.
Yeah.
So through the magic of television,
It's a classy way to get covered. I guess. I don't. So after going off sugar for a long time, the thought of eating a lot of donuts isn't great to me anymore.
You're wrong. You're wrong.
Have you ever been not addicted to sugar?
No.
I know what it's like to be on the other side. It doesn't sound as good to me as it used to. I think that if I ate 6 donuts, like 3 glazed, 3 chocolate glazed, that it would be more of an enjoyable experience.
Well, it's not about it being enjoyable here.
Okay.
We're talking about having a
I could eat 20. I could eat 20. That's it. Your estimate's about how. Don't mind this dog. Don't mind the dog squeaking. Yeah, 20. I could eat 20 donuts.
We need to, so what would
I can definitely do a dozen. I know. I mean, I've done that.
That's easy.
Yeah.
I'm the guy that says I'm just gonna have one donut and then I'll eat a dozen.
I'm not that guy. If I'm having donuts, I'm gonna eat like.
I'm eating well right now. I guess I'll have one. Oh yeah, we're talking about eating after people.
Oh yeah,
eating after people and the different. So
I'm pretty weird. I'm kind of weird about it. I mean,
I guess I'm not really. I mean, it really depends.
I'm weird about drinking after people and eating after people.
I'll eat after strangers. I'll tell you what the grossest thing to me is drinking or eating after my 8-year-old. Is disgusting.
Yeah, when Madison was a kid, it's like the glass has like a haze on it.
He always opens, not sodas, but soda cans with like LaCroix or whatever, and he's like, he wants me to share with him. He's like, Dad, you want a drink? And there's like 2 ounces of liquid floating on the top of the can.
It's like some film around the edge.
Thanks,
yeah,
Betty.
No, yeah. When Madison was little, it was the same thing.
But back to the whole original thing. In regards to that barbecue, that I got,
yeah, I would have ate it.
Okay, so I want to know in the comments, if you watch this, would you eat the barbecue?
Would you eat the barbecue?
We should call this episode, Would You Eat the Barbecue?
Okay, that's what we'll call it.
Yeah, so that's a thing. I want to know about that because I've asked so many people because Melissa acted like she wasn't crazy about it.
Would you eat it?
That's gross.
She'd eat at a buffet though, right?
Well, let me take a step back, and this is what I was trying to explain earlier. When I mentioned it to her earlier, because I told her we were going to talk about it on this podcast, I said to her, I don't think that it was that guy's leftovers. There was nothing eaten off of. There were no sides. I think that restaurant catered to this restaurant earlier in the day.
And that was the leftovers from the caterer.
And he packed that up to bring it home, and then decided to be a nice guy and give it to us because we were drunk and hungry.
Would she eat it then?
She was like, well, that's a little different. But she still didn't say she would eat it. But she's also a little like, she's very clean, which is a good thing, you know? So I don't know if she'd eat it or not. Well, I'm talking about my girlfriend a lot. You listen to this, I love you, baby. I love you, baby. Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal.
I'm going to assume that the barbecue box that you had was less tainted than a fancy buffet. You know what I mean?
That is absolutely true. And I eat off a lot. Like when I was, again, working at Whole Foods, I ate off that nasty tray of...
How many people touch those serving devices?
Yeah, how many people just don't even touch those and stick their hands in them?
Yeah, totally.
How many people are too short to be on top of
I'm having an epiphany here. From now on, when I go to a buffet, I think I'm going to touch the food directly and skip the utensil. I'm going to be the jerk.
They're gross. Everything, anytime you go somewhere where there's food out in the open, it's fucking gross.
They're along the same lines. This is another conversation that I'm almost embarrassed to have.
I can't wait to hear it.
Sometimes at the bar, when I go to the bathroom, I will wash my hands before I pee.
And after?
Not always.
Okay, fair enough.
But before I feel like I'm cleaner than any doorknob. You know what I mean?
There's always been that argument. Like
I'm not peeing on my hands.
Well, beyond that, the argument that I've always heard is,
I know that's
my
crazy.
junk's been in my pants all day.
Yeah, if you're shaking my hand, I washed it.
He's lying to you. He just told you he doesn't.
I probably did.
But there's always been that argument, and I don't subscribe to it, but I get it. That like my stuff has been in my pants all day. My hands are what's been exposed to the elements. Why wouldn't I wash my hands before I touch my clean stuff?
Yeah, and I'm not going to the bathroom and washing my hands because I peed. I'm going to the bathroom to wash my hands and pee because I've been at the bar touching all sorts of stuff and shaking people's hands.
That's true. Sometimes I go to the bathroom to wash my hands.
Sometimes I feel like I can feel the crap on my hands from other people shaking my hand. And I'm going to the bathroom to wash my hands.
You're a little bit of a germaphobe.
A little bit.
Yeah, I'm not really. But I'm a germaphobe in the way that I don't want to pass to people what I got, which is Just kidding.
So you should wash your hands after you pee. I'll wash mine before I pee.
Yeah, I hear you. What do you think about hand dryers versus hand towels?
Oh, and by the way, I've had this conversation in private with a lot of guys, and they're like, that kind of makes sense.
I mean, it's true. What do you think about hand dryers versus hand towels in public bathroom situations?
If the hand towel dispenses itself, that's optimal. Hand dryers, I watched the Mythbusters where they swabbed it, and the hand dryers are disgusting.
But that Mythbusters was before these new Dyson hand dryers.
But I read about those things being terrible bacteria factories as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, they're killer, man.
The high-speed air?
So great. Air blades.
Yeah, you know what they're doing? They're blowing germs all over you.
I'm not a big germaphobe.
Me either. Me either. I prefer a paper towel, preferably dispensed by a robot. But if it's not dispensed by a robot, then you know what? I'd rather. Okay, if it's not dispensed by a robot, I'd rather there be a roll sitting out where I can go like this.
Dude, now we're talking on a topic.
Because if I have to touch the thing, how about the ones where you have to turn the little?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Or the.
Yeah, if I have to touch the thing.
Yeah, I hear you.
Before there was robot dispensers, I would always take a piece of paper towel, rip it off, and then dispense a bunch of paper towel and hold it under my arm while I wash my hands.
Are you old enough to remember in the malls, Six Flags Mall had them in their bathrooms, the ones that recycled?
I've been watching Better Call Saul, and they have that on the wall. In the
It's so disgusting. But you just touched on a topic that I think this is a men and women divider. This is where women are set different from men. Is that I think everything should just be on the roll out. Toilet paper, paper towels, whatever. Do you know what I'm saying? Like toilet paper in the bathroom is so much harder to reach over and do this
Oh my gosh.
than it is to grab a roll and pull it off.
I don't use the public restroom.
You don't poop in public?
I don't poop in public.
I'm a public pooper.
I haven't pooped in public since 2 road trips ago. I'd much rather poop in the woods.
I'm trying to remember if I pooped in public today. We're not talking about like public pooping like on the street in front of people.
Like San Francisco.
Like San Francisco. No, I pooped in public, if not today, yesterday.
Yeah, no, for me, I think I did once on the road trip up last time I was going camping, and then 2 years ago, a couple of times, between like cabins or something.
Yeah.
Because we weren't camping. But it has been that long. Once last August and previous October.
Do you never get where you're like, I gotta go?
Not really. I don't have an emergency. Usually, never.
Sometimes I do.
Yeah. So I don't touch the toilet paper much. That's not even a thing I think about.
Okay. Well, I'm talking about at home even. It should be out.
Oh,
a roll of toilet paper should be sat out, in my opinion.
I take it off of our. We don't have one of those ones with the spring where
I hate that shit.
we have one that you stick the roll on it. I take it off of the toilet paper dispenser while I use it.
Okay, fair
I
enough.
hold it in this hand and get it with this.
Well, we've resorted to talking about toilet paper from talking
Hey,
about.
but I do want to get right back before we get off of this. So you've got the hand dispensers that you go like this and the thing comes out. I don't mind that, but if it's any of this, I'd rather there just be a nasty roll of paper towel sitting out on the counter at the bar.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
And I'll just kind of be like,
to me, that's totally optimal.
you know,
That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Anything that's not in machine.
as long as it's not sitting in a puddle of water.
Yeah.
You know, that does happen at the
Yeah.
bar.
Yeah.
And why is every paper towel dispenser at every bar broken?
Do you remember that? I forget what it was called. It's gone now. The rehearsal space that my old band, controlled by remote, rehearsed at.
Was it called DFW?
DLP.
DLP.
That's what it was called. The bathrooms there, one time we went in, they actually had like a note on the door from the city that were like, enter at your own
Condemned.
risk. This is bad news in here. And they would just go throw lye over the toilets, like shit in them and everything. They would just like throw lye over. It was
no.
disgusting, dude.
Well, they're gone now.
Punk rock, man.
Yeah.
Punk rock.
Punk rock.
So anyways, what else is on our list to talk about?
Punk rock.
Yeah.
I had a good segue, like a line.
Speaking of food, I don't even try to use chopsticks anymore. That was the line.
Speaking of food, speaking of like public and restaurants and food, I don't even try to use it's so contrived, dude.
Just say it. Just spit that line out because it's a good one.
Speaking of food, I don't even. Speaking of food in public, I don't even try to use chopsticks anymore. Okay, we were talking about food and chopsticks. We weren't talking about chopsticks.
So, here's an even better line. This is what you should say. Talking about public bathrooms, I don't even try to use chopsticks anymore.
That's what I'm going to say. So speaking of public restrooms, I don't even try to use chopsticks anymore. I'm no good at it.
That's pretty funny.
I can't pick up a sushi roll with a chopstick. And sashimi, out of the question.
Well, okay, so I try to use them. At 100% of the time I have sushi or Asian food at all.
You try.
I'll try it first and then immediately go to my hands.
Yeah, I eat rolls with my hands. I saw like a little YouTube documentary about
that they do
sushi,
it, that's where they eat it.
They use their hands, and at that moment I was like, well, I'm never going to try to use chopsticks on those again.
So, I don't like, okay, I'm on both sides of the fence on it. Like, I get the cultural do it, try to learn it. It's a thing to do. I don't think it's necessary. But on the other hand, I think like we have forks. It's a better invention to eat food with.
If I went on vacation to Japan, I'd be like, you have a fork? They'd have a fork for me. They wouldn't care. They'd be glad I was buying food at their restaurant. They wouldn't care.
You think they would have a fork?
I do think they'd have a fork.
I think you're probably right.
I do think they'd have a fork. Now, I will say if you came on vacation here from Asia and went to the hamburger place, or what, a steak place, and we're like, do you have any chopsticks? That we wouldn't have chopsticks.
How would you steak chopsticks? Like this?
Like this? You would stab it and eat it.
Okay, fair enough.
But no, I don't, like, when Madison was a kid, she'd want to use chopsticks. I even bought a container of disposable chopsticks, like 100 sets of chopsticks,
bamboo ones or whatever.
Yeah, and we'd make Asian food at home, and we'd all try to use them. You know what? It feels like crap to my hand. I guess because I didn't grow up doing it.
It doesn't. I don't get it. I don't understand. I will say, like, they do all those tricks where you've seen, like, where they'll put like a thing in it and a rubber band so that it's like a.
Oh yeah.
Spring loaded or whatever.
Beginner chopstick tricks. Yeah. I've tried some of that stuff.
I don't know, man. I'm just not a chopstick guy either. But I don't understand. I think what we had talked about before was like, why do you want to learn?
Yeah. You're not impressing the people at the Asian food
and you're
restaurant.
not offending them by not using them.
No. You may have in like 15, 16, like I'm just coming up with a year.
Right.
There may have been a time where it was like really unreasonable to poke your food.
Or respect thing or something, yeah.
Yeah. And let's just say you're going to move to Asia for work or something like that, you should probably learn to use chopsticks. Like,
That's
I
valid.
think if you're going to spend months in a place, like picking up on the culture a little bit makes sense. But for me, I get sushi like once a month, and that's not enough to even get reasonable with chopsticks.
No, I'm totally there with you. I think I had sushi, I don't know, a month or so ago. Same deal, yeah. I start to try and then immediately go fingers.
Yeah, not reasonable at all. I always say I'm gonna take my mom to a decent sushi place and like buy the stuff and show her how to make the American sushi sauce, the wasabi and the soy, and like dip the roll. But I never do. If I tell her like, hey, we should get sushi sometime, she's weird about it.
You know what? You might actually have better luck with that than you think, because I used to get my dad to go to Spiral Diner and eat vegan food. You know what I'm saying?
I'd much rather have sushi.
Me too. Me too.
I used to go to Spiral Diner when my dad was vegan.
He's vegan again, right?
He is.
Fun stuff.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm in the camp that we're supposed to eat a balance of meat and vegetables because we're omnivores.
I don't know what we're supposed to eat. I know what we're not supposed to eat. Do you know what I'm saying?
Like, we're not supposed to eat sugar.
Yeah.
We're more than we can find in nature.
Right.
From fruit, and like, good luck finding a sugar cane in nature. You know?
Is there no sugar canes in nature?
There are, but they're not common. Somewhere they're common. Let's just say we had a village of 150 people, and there was like a whole patch of sugar cane. It would last like what, a month?
Because people
between 150 people.
Shit.
Yeah. So that's how common sugar. That's how common sugar is.
Well, I mean, well, all I'm saying is like, it's funny we have this whole problem with obesity in America, and yeah, a lot of it's sugar. But the fact is it's like we've talked about this before. You can be vegan, you can be keto, you can be on and off diet, you can do Jenny Craig, you can do Weight Watchers. The fact is that we know what's good for us and what's bad for us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's not hard to figure out. It's not hard to consume less and move your fat ass around a little more.
I will say,
not your fat ass.
will say, no, I understand.
The collective
I will
fat
say
ass.
though, people that have never been off of sugar completely are addicted to the food.
I'm definitely addicted to it.
Until you get like 2 whole months off of sugar completely, you eat a lot because you're trying to get some more sugar into your body.
That makes sense.
You do. And it doesn't just come in the form of sweets, it comes in the form of pasta.
I'll definitely tell you this. When I get, like on Thanksgiving, like if I eat as much fucking dessert as I want to, for the next like week, I am like a junkie scouring the house.
The next day I'm like,
sugar.
where's that leftover dessert at?
For sure.
The third or fourth day,
you want to
I'm
split
like,
a piece of pie with me?
there's one more piece of pie in there. It looks kind of shitty now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna eat it.
One of these has to go. Mexican food or Italian food?
Mexican food.
What?
Yeah.
Man, I'm
I'll miss
totally
tortillas. I'll miss tortillas, but a pizza.
I could do without pizza if you lay some tortillas down.
Good fettuccine Alfredo. These are just your standard American Italian. We're not even getting into like real Italian food. You know, salami.
I didn't even think about salami.
Yeah, dude.
Ketchup? I'm joking.
I got confused. I started thinking like, is that marinara?
Oh, would that include wines? Italian wines?
No, Italian wine is just wine. Wine is not a food. Dude,
Right.
Barolo that's like got some age on it that decants all day is one of the most amazing wine experiences. It's like the best $50 you've ever spent.
Dude, Arbor Mist that you pop open fresh and you get the out of the top. That's good stuff. I'm just kidding.
A couple of times when I was drinking, like when we were younger, I was drinking beer. I'd buy Amanda Arbor Mist. She didn't like it. She didn't like wine coolers and sweet drink things.
It's so weird, man. It took me a long time to. No, I guess not. But when I was younger, I used to just drink to get drunk, and I would drink, chug liquor or whatever.
What are you drinking for now?
I mean, that's true, I guess. But I'm not drunk.
No,
now.
but I do have some. My first glass of wine is always to enjoy wine.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
If Melissa and I are going to do a couple of glasses of wine, generally, I mean, and I think this is probably what everybody does, is we'll have a nice bottle and a cheap bottle.
Yeah.
You drink the nice one first.
Couple of glasses.
Right.
Over and over.
Yeah.
Yeah. I occasionally buy a big cheap bottle of one that I know is okay. I have enough wine experience to know some cheap wine that tastes like okay wine.
I hear you.
You know? So, but in general, it's a compromise. It's just to get drunk with the warmth of wine. Cheap wine still works.
Oh yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like,
hey, wait a minute. Do you believe different alcohols give you a different psychoactive effect?
Well, you know what? I say no. Maybe it's a mood thing.
Malt liquor seems to put me in a bad... I haven't even drank it since we were young, but
Malt liquor,
it seems
wow.
to make me depressed while I'm drinking.
I will say that wine definitely is more mellow, for sure. I've been totally hammered on wine before, don't get me wrong.
Is that because of what it just feels like going down?
Maybe.
Versus whiskey's a little bit like...
Yeah, I guess whiskey's fun, beer's fun. But yeah, I don't know if they actually, like, if you, like, the science behind it is it's the same alcohol.
If we drank, let's just say, let's say a glass of wine is the strength of 2 IPAs, two medium strength beers. If we drink let's just say we drink 2 glasses of wine in an hour, or 4 of those beers in an hour, it's not going to feel any different, right? Same amount of alcohol going into your body.
I mean, I guess technically
I'm gonna feel more bloated from the beer.
For sure.
You know?
And that may be part of it.
Is that part of
But
the
dude,
fun of? Is that part of the fun of beer?
Well,
Feeling?
yeah, maybe just let it loose.
Yeah.
Just letting loose. Maybe because I was gonna say, I was like, if I'm at a bar and I'm just drinking beer, I have fun, you know. But I also don't drink. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's a social thing too with beer. I think, like, because I'll tell you what I've been doing lately. I don't drink much beer anymore because it always makes me feel bloated and shitty. So like,
Special occasions.
if I'm at an event, family function or something where people are drinking beer, I'll opt to drink a few glasses of whiskey instead. But I don't get...
You get drunker than them because you're drinking whiskey?
I may get drunker, but I don't get in party mode like I would if I was drinking a bunch of beer.
Huh.
You know what I mean?
I can get in party mode on any alcohol. I can.
Hard for me.
After a few, I'm going to go to party mode no matter what.
I will tell you, dude, I enjoy whiskey, though, now. I thoroughly enjoy it.
I go through phases with whiskey.
Yeah, I do too.
After you drink too much once,
yeah, I do too.
Then it takes... after I drink too much in a night... First off, you buy the good bottle of scotch and be like, this is going to be a lot of nights of enjoyment.
And then
if you drink too much of it the second time or whatever, then I don't even want to buy that bottle of scotch for a while.
Yeah, a couple years ago, you and I both I felt like I was drinking a lot of scotch. I would buy a bottle of nice scotch and drink it. And I still enjoy scotch, but I'm kind of over it right now, dude. It's strong. Like, I'm kind of over it.
It's a strong experience, not just
For
alcohol.
sure. Yeah.
It's the same strength as any
right.
comparable alcohol.
But it's hard to... I'm a little
the
over
experience, you wake up and it's like, scotch.
Oh, yeah, you feel it. It's like tequila. Like, you taste
I think the moral of this story is...
over drinking
anything you get hungover on is... Yeah. But yeah, I don't buy into the different alcohols have a different effect thing.
I don't either. I mean, I get it because I do... I don't know. When I was younger, I used to drink a lot of tequila, and it would make me fucking crazy. But...
Isn't it high in congeners, which is... I don't know if that's how you say it.
I don't
know. The thing that make you feel sick, the thing that give you a hangover.
Maybe.
Beer is. Vodka's the lowest.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's why girls are always functional when they're drunk. Because they're just drinking
vodka.
They're just drinking vodka.
I think it's an act.
Yeah. I have friends that will just drink and drink and drink, and they're just normal from vodka. Like,
also have friends that will just drink and be normal on light beer, like regular beer.
Those...
Bud and Miller Coors.
You know what those are called? Alcoholics.
Yeah.
You know, every old person you know that just constantly drinks. And they're never drunk.
Yeah. They only get drunk if somebody gives them shots on top of their beer.
I don't take shots.
Yeah. I don't really take shots.
Well, that's one lesson that, I will still every once in a while if I'm in a party or something, but that's one lesson that I think you have to learn when you're mellowing out. Like, as an adult, like, some adults quit drinking. Others drink forever. But one lesson that you kind of have to learn is shots is the first lesson. Like, just don't do them.
Yeah.
Like, you can even enjoy liquor, but don't do shots.
Well, yeah, if you do, let's just say you do a couple of shots while you're drinking a beer or whatever.
Yeah, you've had 4 beers then.
Exactly. Yeah. 30 minutes later, you're in a different universe than you were.
Now, with that said, it's been a year or so since I've done this, but my girlfriend's family at her dad's house sometimes we'll drink, and I am the one that would always be like, let's take shots, let's shotgun beers. I'm turning into that guy, but I'm trying to.
You got to get pretty far in first, though.
Yeah,
right?
I'm not trying.
You got to already be drunk a little bit, right?
I'm trying to not be that guy, but yeah, after a while, man, I mean, I do. And
when I get drunk, I start being like, "You need another drink? You need it? Finish that. I'll get you another one."
Yeah. For you're a coach. You've always been a coach like that.
Yeah.
Drinking coach.
Yeah.
Amongst other things.
Yeah, I'm still late. I still am.
That's so interesting. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I've kind of mellowed out. I've mellowed out recently, dude. Like, I've been out of control.
You're in a mellow phase.
Yeah, I've been out of control of drinking for so long that it's
You've never been somebody I considered I never felt like, as long as I've known you, except for maybe when you like were young 20s. Did I ever feel like drinking was consuming your life? Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I wouldn't say
yeah.
you ever are hurting your quality of life.
Right. I've always been a functioning alcoholic.
The first
I'm
year,
kidding.
the first year we did Sober October, though, we talked about it, and we were hungover so much. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
I was really experimenting with wine at the time.
Yeah, me too. I was drinking at home a lot back then.
I realized I was losing two full days a week.
Oh yeah, me too. Me too. From feeling like shit.
Yeah, 100 days a
You
year.
know, it's funny too. We talk about, and I had forgotten about this until you reminded me that, like, when you used to live at the barn or whatever, which we can talk about it another time.
Yeah.
But we should do a whole podcast on that, like
The
barn stuff.
time, yeah.
But
Gosh.
when you lived in the barn, I would drink so much that I would just fall into a lump. And I didn't remember how.
Funny thing about that is when I think back on it, we would drink like half a bottle of tequila and be just blasted. And now I think we could drink half a bottle of tequila and
Last podcast I did, we drank an entire bottle of Jim Beam.
yeah, we made it pretty far. And yeah.
But no,
There was that much of that bottle left when I woke up the next day.
But no, I would drink so much I'd fall into a lump, and I didn't remember until you reminded me. But now, thanks, I have vivid memories of you being like, "Hey, get up off the floor," and me being like, "No, don't fucking move me, don't fucking." Move
You weren't
me.
really being mean though.
But it was because I knew I would die. Like I would vomit probably
You would have been fine.
if you moved me. It's so weird how young.
That was that night in the pool float. You were in that mode.
Yeah,
That's a whole podcast.
There was, but it's funny how young people drink. Like I remember times going to Taco Bell with friends, and before we would go into Taco Bell, we would take like 20-ounce bottles or whatever, and like just fill them with rum, and like chug on that.
Hang out at the Bell.
So gross.
Ugh.
So gross.
Why is it less gross now if you just take that and put it in a short glass with some ice?
Responsibility, maybe? I don't know.
Also, our tolerances are higher.
Obviously, as evidenced by the fact that we drank an entire bottle of Jim Beam last time, and we're able to do a arguably better podcast.
I believe I also had beer.
Oh, beer was a hard one for me.
No, that night we drank the Jim Beam. We also had Bud 55s.
Oh, you're right. This is a couple weeks, I forgot about that. We did drink beer.
Ooh-wee. Yeah, but I drink much more responsibly. Like, do I?
Okay.
I get less crazy.
Let's be honest,
As
because
adult,
we've talked about
I don't
this
really get
recently.
crazy.
One of the reasons it's hard for me to have liquor at the house, and this is going to make me sound like an alcoholic, and I'm not, but once I start to get a buzz, the scale in my head of importance of what's going to happen the next day goes away.
Yeah.
And so
For
I'll start
sure.
to get a buzz, and then like if the wine's gone, I'm like, well, there's a little bit of whiskey over there on the bar cart.
Yeah, a bottle of liquor is like a one-night infinite supply of fun.
Right.
And it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like to end the night. I don't end the night.
Same.
Until
That's
bedtime.
what it is.
Until bedtime.
Yeah, me neither.
And then it doesn't matter if there's liquor left or not.
And I'm getting better.
I'll go and drink it.
I'm
but
getting better at that too.
ending the night on time.
Well, just like last night, even we drank the rest of a bottle of wine from the night before, and then I opened one of those huge bottles of Woodford Bridge
Yeah.
Cabernet or whatever, cheap wine, a big bottle. Yeah, kind of gross. But
You got too much fake oak in that.
oh yeah, it tastes like cardboard. But so I had a couple glasses of that, and I was like, no, I'm gonna go to bed
What I'm hearing is you went too slow.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. So weird.
It's not easy to go fast on wine that tastes like fake oak.
Yeah, garbage wine.
Ugh.
It's funny. When I worked at Whole Foods, we had a $2 bottle of wine, and I witnessed people would come through the line and be like, "Have you tried this $2 wine? It's pretty good." And I would just always be like, "Oh, great." And then they would come back again later with more expensive wine and wouldn't mention it because I guarantee you they either had a bad hangover or,
I used to be like, if you're drinking under $20, you're just wasting your money. I used to really feel that way.
I feel with wine, much like a lot of things in my life, I am able to find decent product on a budget. And I've found wines, like Melissa and I are pretty good about finding wines that are pretty good for... Now, I will say that like I stand by that with Pinot Noir. It's hard to find a good Pinot for under $20.
Yeah, the one that I'm getting from Aldi right now is I think $14, and they have some old bottles left, and it tastes like a Washington State Pinot that's mediocre. It's mediocre, but it doesn't taste like shitty wine. It is. It's Pinot Noir.
So since we're talking about this, let me ask you this: are you completely over craft beers yet?
I still sometimes want to have like an Abbey beer, like St. Bernardus or whatever. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Or
I could go
farmhouse ale, but those aren't really craft beers.
Right.
Those are like European styles.
I could go the rest of my life without drinking IPA.
I'm over craft beer, but not import beer.
I mean, that's fair. But I think with me, like if I'm at a bar now and I have the choice, and I've always said that my favorite beer in the world is Le Fendimande. But
yeah, it's a fantastic.
It is. But now, if I had the choice between Le Fendimande and a Dos Equis, I'd take the Dos Equis, dude.
I wouldn't. Le Fendimande is a much better tasting beer.
Dos
I don't like
Equis
Dos Equis.
You're weird.
I'd rather have a can of Heineken first off. In
Gross,
a can,
dude.
not a bottle.
Gross, dude.
Nah. I don't want to drink any of that. I don't.
Mexican beers? Are you racist against Mexican beers?
I've never had one that I really like. I like
Negro
Modelo. I like it all right.
I love Mexican
but
beers.
It's not.
Pacifico?
Don't like it.
Okay. I mean, I ain't mad at you about it.
I'm not. First off, a lot of them have a flavor palette, or they are lagers, or they taste like lagers.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of lagers. That's why I said Heineken, because it's one of the only lagers I really like.
I'm not a huge fan of vloggers.
Well, you're in the wrong place then, buddy. I like ales.
I like an ale.
I like an ale over a lager. A lager is fermented at a cold temperature.
Interesting.
It has a different. It's more crisp. It has a different flavor profile. But in general, no. I don't really like domestic American or Mexican beers, or beers that taste like them.
I've changed, I guess, with my beers.
I like Newcastle. Like if I'm gonna go to the grocery store and buy beer, Guinness, Newcastle, Sam Adams, the original.
Sam Adams is great.
I love Sam Adams. It's my favorite beer. Is it a craft beer?
No.
It's a macro brewery.
No.
It's not a craft beer, right?
No.
I love Sam Adams would be my favorite domestic beer.
Okay. What do you think about Labatt Blue?
No.
That's a good beer.
It's not great. It's all right. I'm gonna tell you what. You can taste the grains in it, so that's a plus.
I'll say this, dude. Like I've just gotten where. I mean, I think when I was really into the craft.
But you were kind of really asking about over bitter IPAs. Is that what you meant?
Maybe.
I still will pick up Torpedo. I still will pick up Torpedo every once in a while from the grocery store, but I won't go out of my way to try like a new IPA that's made in Lubbock or something. It's just going to be the same stuff.
No, don't get me wrong. Like, I don't want to sound like... It's so funny because a few years ago it was like the hipster thing. They're like, oh, craft beers are everywhere.
It's new to the market.
Well, now it's the opposite. Like, people that say they're over craft beers, it's like, it's like a thing to say. And I'm like, I don't... My thing is this, is... I don't love beer in general as much as I used to.
No, me either.
And so if I'm drinking beer... I'm drinking it to have a good time with folks, and I'm probably going to have several. And so I want something that's going to be light and watered down, dude. Now, I do draw the line. Like, I will turn down a Bud Light. I will turn down a Coors Light. But
if I've already been drinking, I might drink one as like a refreshment.
But I will buy and bring a case of Michelob Ultra to a party.
There's really no difference.
It's
in those beers.
I love Michelob Ultra.
For a cheap beer, PBR is about the one that tastes the most like beer. I don't even like it.
Yeah, that's headache.
And now the Dallas Blonde is everywhere, and
that's a good beer.
It's a little bit too
blonde. You're into brunettes.
It's got too much malts going on.
I know what you mean.
You know what I mean?
So, that was a lot of talk about foods. And poop and beer.
Chopsticks. Hand towel. Paper towel.
Paper towel. Oh. That's something that we didn't touch on. We'll wrap up it. Paper towel versus napkin.
There's three things. Paper towel, paper napkins, and napkins that are made of cloth.
Which are not paper towels because they're not on a roll. Paper towels are on a roll.
Yes, and paper napkins aren't on a roll.
That's all I was getting at.
But what at home do you use napkins or paper towel at dinner to wipe your, to wipe?
Generally, paper towel.
Me too, and I prefer it by far over the cloth napkins. I don't feel like the cloth napkins are like getting.
I want to be able to. I like to eat until I'm so full that I need to blow my nose.
I want to understand this. You like a paper towel at home.
I like paper towel. I like a paper towel or a paper napkin anyway.
I like a paper. Yeah, me too. That's what I'm saying. I'll take a paper towel over a cloth napkin. I don't think a cloth napkin does the job of. I feel like the cloth napkin's just smearing the food on me, while I feel like the paper towel absorbs it.
Absolutely, especially with a mustache. You can't rub it in with cloth. You got to rub it off with paper towel.
I will say, a little side note. I stayed at a bed and breakfast. I stayed at a bed and breakfast, and in the common area in the bathroom, they had a stack like this high of hand towels, like wash rags, what we would call them, I guess. And that's what you dried your hands with. And then you threw it in a laundry basket. And they would just renew the stack every time. It was the greatest way to dry your hands.
Washcloths.
It was washcloth. Dry washcloths. You dry your hand on it and then throw it in the laundry basket.
That's something I'm trying to change too. I called them rags when I was a kid.
Wash rags.
Rags, but that sounds so like rags.
One time when I was a kid, I stayed at my friend's house, and his mom was like, "Do you need a towel?" And I didn't understand it at all. She was asking if I needed a wash rag.
Why did you call it a towel?
A towel. Just a towel, not a hand towel. Or
For
anything.
what?
I don't remember.
Just in
I
general?
think I was going to take a shower or something.
Oh, okay. Okay.
All right. Yeah, but I was confused. In my house, we had wash rags and towels.
Yeah.
And hand towels.
And hand towels,
Yeah, but I think we mainly call those dish towels. You know what's gross? Dish rags. It's a wash rag on one side, and it has like a netting on the other side. Dish rags.
You're talking about the kind that won't dry plates.
No rag really does a great job drying a dish.
I hate decorative dishcloths that won't dry plates.
Yeah. Thanks for tuning in. I really want to know, would you eat the barbecue?
Did you eat the barbecue? Do you pretend to use chopsticks? Can you use chopsticks?
And don't say you can when I know you really can.
Yeah, that's true. Are you over IPAs? What else? Don't squeeze wine glasses?
Don't squeeze wine glasses.
Yeah. Not even a little bit.
And please comment, like, subscribe, whether you're watching this on Facebook or YouTube or whatever. Leave us some comments. Let us know if you eat the barbecue.
You got anything you want to plug?
Yeah, bird snake brown on everything.
Okay. Bring _coffee_CS
On Instagram.
on Instagram.
Check out his art. Buy some of his original art for your friends for the holidays.
Bing, bang,
Christmas
boom.
present. All right, I'm Bird Snake, and
I'm Bird not. I'm CRISPR.
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 You know what CRISPR is?
Yeah, that's the thing.
It's gene therapy.
Yeah.
I'm Bird Snake. He's Chris Spurrier.
Peace.
Thanks for watching. Well, that's a success.
I hope so. At Whole Foods, we have these same kind of wine glasses, and part of my job was to take them back to the. That's exactly what.